Hey everybody, welcome back to Pagers and Pages, where we are medical students who read more than just textbooks. I'm Erin.
I'm Alondra.
And today we're diving into the last 12 chapters of Haunting Adeline. We are starting at chapter 31 and going all the way to the end.
Yeah!
El final.
I know, finally.
Yay. Oh, I'm so excited for these chapters. Honestly, I didn't have as many things to write.
Oh, same.
Because I feel like there wasn't as much to really dissect, but the plot was moving well.
Oh, yeah. I was fully reading the plot like, and then what happened?
Grabs the pearls.
Grabs the pearls, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm ready to just jump right in. Let me grab the book.
So the last that we left off on, it was the very last chapter was Zade and Adeline having
getting it on
for the first time in the House of Mirrors.
Yeah.
And then we had to cut ourselves off.
Yeah.
And then the next chapter is chapter 31. We're seeing what's going to happen with Zade taking care of Mark and the other three guys that are with him, along with the psycho girl.
Yeah, because we basically were we got jumped from Addie going into the House of Mirrors, and then all of a sudden he's there, but we didn't know how he got there because last we knew he was in the other dollhouse, haunted house, and we were like, well, how, what happened? Did he kill them? What happened?
Yeah.
And it was
not me thinking there was gonna be a plot twist of an evil twin.
It was no. When I tell you that I had been screaming at that part, Addie, run! Because I was convinced it was not him.
I was convinced it wasn't him either. I was convinced she was about to get abducted.
Me too. I totally.
Because that's that was one of our predictions.
Yeah, I was freaking out, thinking that. So the author choosing it to write it in that order, round of applause, because
she knew what she was doing.
I was horror movie on the edge of my seat at that point.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I was too. I was like, it's not him. I was like, they took a recording of his voice and are playing it for her.
Exactly. I figured they were you have to lure her, we're gonna record. Yes, I thought it was a recording too, or it was someone that had because his voice is described as being really, really deep.
Yeah.
That I was maybe they just happen to have a henchman that also has a really deep voice that could trick her, But
yeah.
I was somehow they're baiting her. This can't be him.
Yeah.
So yeah, we then jump into 31. Let me get it back pulled up. Okay. So now we know that he was able to get out of that haunted house because the doll girl is psycho. She is, from a healthcare perspective, is probably schizophrenic because she is talking about the voices in her head.
Things.
She has hallucinations of henchmen helping her and she definitely has some sort of mental illness.
Yeah, she definitely has something.
But she
some kind of trauma response or something that makes her
believes that she can see evil in the world and is purposed with eradicating it. So it was interesting that she latched on to Z because he is and isn't what she should have been looking for. He is a predator when it comes to Addie.
Yeah.
But he's also on the same side as her.
He's a predator of the predators.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's something that I always find it super interesting.
He's the apex predator.
Because he's it's what do you call someone who hunts, but what they're hunting, you're okay because they're the things that he is hunting or the people he's hunting are evil. It's it's the predator of the predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was okay, well, at least now we know that he convinced this girl who we learn her name is Sibby. At least he convinced her don't hurt me. These are the bad guys that you're after. And she helped him to basically tie them up. And then he was okay, I'm going to go make sure Addie's okay. I'll be back at midnight and then they're going to deal with these guys.
Yeah.
So he gets to go have his fun with Addie. And then now is ready to deal with them.
Yeah. And then her name is Sibby.
Yeah, Sibby.
So initially, I wrote here, Sibby equals creepy.
She is creepy.
And I initially thought she would kidnap Addie. I thought I thought that she has her mental illness and that she was going to kidnap Addie in order to keep her safe from Z.
Oh, interesting.
That's where I thought that it was going to go, but it didn't go that way.
Yeah. Basically, like, she kills bad people, and then, like, so they are, like, now tormenting these 4 guys for like, Z needs information about the society, like, when are they having their rituals, like, where, like, you know, like, getting more details so that he can plan his, like, hit to take it out kind of thing. So he gets a little bit of information, and, like, he knows he's gonna have to infiltrate this Savior's Gentlemen's Club, which, like, what a freaking name. You know? How disgusting. And we also now know that, like, because he's gonna kill these 4 guys, he's gotta expedite things because, like, odds are the society is gonna figure out that someone is, like, coming after them, and they're gonna, like, up and move, and then he's gonna have to basically be back at, like, square one.
Start all over again.
Yeah. And the thing, really the big thing from this chapter is that we find out that Addie was already marked by the society. Yeah. It had nothing to do with
Zade at all. I literally wrote, holy shit, Addie is a target. The plot thickens.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, like, maybe it has something to do with Gigi. Because I thought how odd that, like, her grandmother is described, or her great grandmother is described as this beautiful woman that, like, multiple men, like, wanted to be with.
Yeah.
And then she eventually gets, like, murdered. And I'm sitting here, like, and her great granddaughter is this girl who, like, wherever she goes, whether she wants to or not, gets people's attention. Yes. Right? She got Mark's attention at the restaurant without even trying. She got Zade's attention at her book signing.
Yep.
She got Archie's attention in the nightclub.
Yeah.
Like, she just is one of those people that is so physically, like, beautiful.
Yeah.
She just gets attention.
She has her own, like, gravitational field, basically. Like,
homegirl needs to get saged.
Facts.
Like, she needs to get some ethically sourced sage and just be like, please get all the bad vibes. Because to know that you've been targeted, like, well, she doesn't know. But
at this point, she doesn't know. At this
point.
Yeah.
But to find out that she is targeted to be kidnapped for human trafficking is just, like, insane. You know? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
It made me so sad. And then my next thought was, like, oh my God, like, she was targeted regardless of the fact that Zade and Mark ran into her at the restaurant. And we know now the picture that he was taking of her at the restaurant, it was because, like, oh, hadn't we already, like, marked this girl, and here she is. Yeah. Whereas Zade thought that was, like, her getting put on their radar. And I just was like, how is he going to be able to protect her at this point?
I literally was like, there's no way. He can't clone himself.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. I got real nervous when we found out that she was already a target.
Marked. Yeah. And I was like, honestly, when we found out that she's already marked, I was like, so it wasn't a bad thing that Zade came into her life then.
Exactly.
She definitely was not going to stand a chance before.
The only reason she has any sliver of a chance now is because he's like, protecting her. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what's crazy? It's like, she lives in the middle of nowhere in an old house.
How did she not get got already?
How did they not get her already?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like she has a job where she, like, constantly interacts with people.
Like, she could be alone in her house for months writing a book, and, like, no one would ever know.
She could have gone missing for, like, 3 days.
Yeah.
And the only way that we would find out is not even because of her mom. It would be because of Dea.
Yep. Yeah. Because Dea's the only one who has, like, regular contact with her. Yeah.
Keeps in touch with her.
Yeah. And that was really all I had for 31. Because it was just, like, it was a good chapter to read of, like, how it went down. But as far as, like, things to pick apart, there really wasn't that much. I was a little sad going into chapter 32 that, like, we find out that Sibby does take the fall for the murders.
Yeah.
But also, like,
she didn't want to leave. He was trying to get her to leave, and she wouldn't.
Yeah. So she ended up, and then they ended up connecting her to, like, all these other murders, and he was like, yeah, she's killed at least 50 people. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this bitch crazy.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
We get a little bit of her backstory. Interestingly enough, you might not know this, but Sibby has a prequel. The author wrote Sibby's story.
I did see that there was another book. Yeah.
The author wrote Sibby's story.
It's like another short. It's not Where's Molly? It's the other one.
Yeah, it's titled.
I'm blanking.
It's like Satan's Affair.
Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure, but it's the same thing as The Carnival, so I assume that that's her prequel.
Yeah. I literally have my iPad right here, so I can just look it up while we're chatting. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't purposely incriminate her. He was trying to get her to go with him, and she wouldn't. And then he's like, I gotta go if not, I'm gonna get caught. So I was like, okay with it.
Yeah, Satan's Affair is a dark psychological thriller novella focusing on Sibby. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We'll have to read that one too.
We get some backstory on her, and basically she is like, so she survived like she was born into a cult.
I know.
Yeah.
And she was basically like, oh, like I'm on this earth to like eradicate evil.
Yeah. You can only imagine the things that she saw.
I know. Especially now, like knowing, like no wonder she would want to kill people like Mark.
Yeah.
And like what they do in their basically cult also.
Yeah. It's the same
their
thing.
society. Yeah. And I said, you know what though? At least Zade is not caught, so he's able to still try and like take down the society.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
Yeah, that is good. I wrote here, I wonder if he will place Addie in a safe house at some point.
Oh.
Because now that he knows that she's been marked.
He should. Yeah, he should.
Because we later find out that he has safe houses for the girls that get rescued.
Exactly. So that they can basically like go off the grid. And
I don't know if you know this, but one of the things that puts you at higher risk of getting sex trafficked or human trafficked is if you've been human trafficked.
Yeah.
Isn't that freaking like...
It's like you're on their radar.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, how sad.
Yeah.
No, because like, it's like,
you get out.
You get out and then, oh my God.
And then you live with the fear of knowing that like, actually it's very realistic for you to get back in.
Yeah, it's like they have to go into like witness protection, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, so the minute he tells Addie, homegirl, you have been marked from the beginning, it's a miracle and a blessing that I came into your life. I'm like, the minute he tells her that, I'm like, okay, so when is she going to get a gun? Because this entire time, I'm like, this girl needs a weapon. She needs a mace. She needs throwing knives. Like, she needs all of it.
She's defenseless.
She needs an EpiPen just in case. Everyone needs an EpiPen just in case.
Oh my God. Yeah. But I was like, okay, at least he has Jay monitoring the house. So like that made me feel like, okay, she's at least a little bit safer. We know that he's got like men stationed like around the house, but they are designed to be like hidden.
Yeah.
So like she doesn't really know she's being watched, but we know Jay's got eyes on her, and we know these men have like the house like on lockdown basically. But I just think it was so cute, the conversation that Jay was trying to have with Z, where he's like, so is this girl like the love of your life? And he's like, yeah, basically. And he's like, but does she know that kind of like, you know?
Like, does she consent to this?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. And then Zade, like, Jay calls his like booty call to make sure. He's like, hey, you like me, don't you?
Yes. I thought that was so funny.
I fully, in my head, in my head, Jay was like, how do I describe him?
I pictured him. I wrote it. We like physically meet him in another chapter.
Oh yeah.
Where we like he is there in person, or is it it might be this one. Somewhere I wrote that like I pictured him more like a G.I. Joe, like a blonde, sandy, like fade.
No way.
Yeah.
I pictured him as like a light-skinned black guy.
Oh, like Isaiah kind of from Crescent City.
A little bit, but really what I pictured him as was Derek Morgan from Criminal Minds. That's who I pictured Jay as.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
That's what I pictured. Who I pictured was Jay, like Derek Morgan from Criminal Minds.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
I love that guy.
Let's see. I also like they're having this conversation about like Addie already being marked or like by the society, and I was just like, I really wonder if she's gonna believe him when he eventually gets around to telling her like, look, you were already marked, like it's not my fault that you're marked because you already were before I was even in your life. I just was kind of like curious, you know, like I wonder if she's actually gonna believe him, kind of thing.
Well, Zade is a lot of things, but he's not a liar.
That's facts.
So I would be like, if she didn't believe him, I'd literally be like, why?
Yeah.
Like, this man has showed you the worst parts of him, and not one of them is a liar. Because to be a liar, you kind of have to be a coward. You have to be afraid of something. Yeah. This man fears nothing.
That's true. Yeah. But I really love that he gives, like, he talks about giving Jay, like, the piece of having the clicky keyboard. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's cute. But then I love that we see Jay be like, oh, man, like, my favorite actor is part of this society. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. Like, even my favorite actor is a pedophile. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I cracked up at that.
The fact that we're reading this book at the same time as, like, the Jeffrey Epstein files dropping.
Oh, my God, I know.
Kind of, like, surreal, insane.
Did you see the video that came out? I very briefly, like, saw this, but it was the Hispanic girl that was, like, they're eating people, like screaming it in Spanish, like that they're eating people. I've
seen that video before.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've seen it before, and it like is terrifying
to think about.
And like when I tell you that, because I saw that video and then read this book, like I was triggered when I read this book. I was like, oh my gosh, like.
The thing is, this is a fictional...
I cannot compute.
Like, this is a fictional book. But people really do this stuff.
Yeah, like, there's, like, evil people.
Ugh.
Yeah. And I don't even know... I don't have the stomach to deep dive into, like, all that stuff that's being released.
No.
I just don't have the stomach for it.
No, I don't.
I hope someone does, because people need to know. I can do the secondhand information. I don't think I can do the firsthand.
Be the one to like kind of how they have to like see these videos be leaked.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm okay
hear about it from other people.
Exactly, I'm okay with like secondhand reading about it, but I would never want to be the one to like see the video.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I wrote for chapter 32. I quote, "My tummy hurts."
Oh, yeah.
No context or what. I don't know what made my tummy hurt, but something in that chapter made my tummy hurt.
You know, the thing that made my tummy hurt is the fact that he used the picture of one of the girls that he rescued. Like, even though he says, like, oh, I got her permission to, like, use her photo, but I was like, oh, he's, like, convincing these people that he's a pedophile.
I think that's why it made my tummy hurt.
It made my stomach churn, that I was like, oh my God, this girl is, like, 10 years old in this photo. And, like, it just... And the fact that he like describes her eyes like being haunted looking, you know, and stuff, and I was like, oh, like.
And I think it's because of that I wrote, I would like to see him interact with the girls that he's rescued. Like, I would like to see him interact with like the girls that he already rescued and have had time to heal a bit.
Yeah.
To see like that interaction.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, this whole thing is just so icky that I need him to get it over with as quickly as possible.
Yes, I know. Reading it was like I know that he's pretending in order to get into the society. What? But like just the fact of being in there, it's like so freaking gross.
I know.
And the things that he has to say are so gross. Like when the guy said something about like, oh, what about when they age out? And he was like, well, organs are still huge on the black market.
Oh my God,
that was horrible.
Because that is really what happens. Oh,
that's horrible. I read that and I think, you know what? I honestly think that I read that and like put the book down for like at least like a day or two.
And was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I need a break.
Yeah.
I really need us to like start reading some more fantasy adventure, because this stuff is a little too like
real,
possibly real, that it's like getting to me.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I had for that chapter is that I love his quote where he's like, where there was once a mole, there's now a wolf.
Yeah.
I loved that.
That's right.
Yeah. But it is crazy to realize that they only had 45 seconds of that video being leaked, and they
they
got a hold of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's wild. But also, like, that was the moment where I was like, I don't know, like, him getting in and, like, making friends with this guy, Dan, and, like, being like, oh, well, like, you know, where there was once a mole, now there's a wolf. It kind of felt too easy.
That's exactly what I thought. And I literally, like, it just heightened my anxiety.
Yes.
Because I was like, so you're telling me that a member of the secret society that does horrendous stuff dies. Not just one member, 4 members.
Yeah.
Die in this crazy, like, haunted house accident. Or not accident, but, like, get murdered by this crazy girl who the police were looking for an accomplice, even though they still think she's crazy. And it just so happens that the new guy immediately that makes the new guy on anything suspicious.
Yep.
Like, immediately, like, you go years having this, like, location, no issues. All of a sudden, a new guy comes in town. 4 of your members are dead.
The new people are suspect number 1 immediately.
Exactly. So I was like, I don't know, like, it made I was like, this is gonna go bad.
I'm like, I have faith in my man.
I do have faith in his capabilities,
but I'm nervous.
But also, I just feel like it's not gonna go good.
Yeah. That was all I had for 32.
Yeah, same.
So 33, I was like, this was a very thrilling horror chapter.
I wrote one thing.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
Yeah, it was a very whiplash kind of chapter. I loved, because this is where, like, so they had their, like, fling in the House of Mirrors, and, like, almost like a week or something goes by. And Addie's, like, in the house. She sees the news reports. Like, she's not a dumb girl. She knows that Z was involved in those murders and is like, oh my God, like, he's a killer. You know what it reminded me of? This is a big spoiler. Big spoiler.
Big spoiler for what?
Throne of Glass.
Big spoiler for Throne of Glass.
Yeah. If
Wait.
Should I not say it? Oh.
No, you could say it, but give people time to, like.
Oh.
We'll try. Can we put, like, a timestamp? I'll put my hands up so that you know when you're recording. Like, okay, this is when the spoiler stops, so people can, like, know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For Throne of Glass.
Yes.
The Sarah J. Maas 8-book series.
Like, what this reminded me of, where she's like, oh my God, he murdered these people, is the same, like, level of frustration that I got when Kale was like, what do you mean you murder people? And Selena's like, I'm literally an assassin. Like,
what did you think I did?
Yes, it's the same feeling that I was like, Addie, come on. Like, what did you think? Like, he literally says, I take out bad guys. Like,
but
like,
also, spoiler alert, also for Throne of Glass, it's so funny because when he says that, he doesn't realize that she actually didn't kill the people she says that she killed.
Yeah, it's
when she's the king's champion.
Yeah.
That she's, like, fake killing all these, like, high nobles.
Yeah.
But she really isn't. She's just bringing back, like, decomposed, like, bodies.
Yeah. I had the same feeling, though, of, like, Addie. Like, what the fuck, man? What did you think he does?
Spoiler alert completed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I love, so, like, he shows up, and she is again in her mood of, like, I don't like him. And then she, like, starts running away out of the house and, like, running barefoot through the woods. And
she knew he killed people.
I know.
She got severed hands on the box.
I know.
In a box. Like, did she just forget about that?
I know. And so that's why I was like, okay, well, this is, like, a thrilling, like, adrenaline chase, but also I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I'm like, girl. And also the idea that you can outrun this, like, 6-foot man with his long legs is like, girl.
But, and I wrote, like, I'm very confused because, like, these men were murdered and it made national news. Like, yes. But Addie, I thought we were
bad.
And I'm like, Addie, I thought we were past the point of hating this man. I thought we were done with that.
I did too. I thought we were done with hating on him. I thought we were fully on board with his job now.
Yeah.
Because what did she think? Like, she knew that Mark was a bad guy. Yeah. She knew what he did, and she knew that Zade was specifically interested in getting to know him so that he could bring down like a whole ring of human trafficking.
Exactly.
So like, it's not like he murdered like
an innocent
person.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say it's not like he murdered a priest, but
priests
are not very innocent.
Well, yeah.
Some priests aren't, some are. Forgive me.
But so we get him like chasing her through the woods, and then he like pins her down and basically is like, dude, like, would you be realistic? Like, you were already marked by this society without me.
Yes, he tells her at this moment.
Yeah, he was like, basically like, knock it off, because you're not afraid of me, you're afraid of them.
Yeah. And also, this was like a really good chapter in the sense of like heart palpitations. Like,
yeah,
I was like reading it in bed, be like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
It was a very thrilling chapter. Yeah. But I also love that he's like, why are you upset that there are dead pedophiles? Like, why is that upsetting to you?
Which is literally my same thought.
Yes. Yep. And then he's like, and you know what? Those pedos already had you marked on their list too. And the only reason you haven't been got yet is because I've been here to protect you.
Yeah.
So it was very like slap back into reality of like, get over yourself.
Yeah. Which I was like, duh. Because here's the thing. In order to like fight bad and to hunt monsters, you have to be a monster too.
Yeah.
It's just you're a monster with a code.
Yeah.
Or
it's Dexter.
It's Dexter, but also it's not even that, like, because I don't want to say like the real people who fight against human trafficking are not monsters, obviously.
Yeah.
But like they have to be big and bad. Like in order to actually do this job day in and day out, they have to be big and bad, and they have to be willing to go where other people won't.
And you do some things that are gonna haunt you.
Yeah, like I'm sure him having to use that picture, even if he got permission, still is gonna haunt him.
Yeah, it gave him an icky feeling.
Just pretending to be that deranged.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we get them being spicy in the woods.
Oh my gosh, yes. Chapter 34, I only wrote one thing.
Wait, I'm not there yet.
Oh, sorry. That was when they started being spicy?
Yeah, 33 is where, like, they're in the woods, and she basically is like, I can make myself come harder than you ever could. And I was like, are you stupid?
I literally, when she said that, I was like, okay, what's the point of this? Because, like, I literally was, okay, I believe, especially in parenting, you don't make threats that you can't keep.
You have to have follow through.
You have to have follow through.
Yes.
So I'm like, Addie, why are you making statements that you know can be easily disproven in 2 seconds flat?
I know. I was just like, you're so stupid. Because,
like, it's hard for me to take you seriously right now.
Yes.
You're showing, she's like, what, 23?
No, she's 26.
Girl, your prefrontal cortex has not fully cooked yet.
Yep. Because I just was like, really, like, you had the most like world-shattering sex of your life with this man.
In a
like,
House of Mirrors.
A few chapters ago. Exactly. Yeah. You really want to like try and say it. And he also is like, that's fucking funny.
And you also know this man is like we're rooting for him, but you also know this man cray. Like, why are you poking the bear?
She does poke the bear. It's
she
her.
Likes to poke the bear.
It's her
thing. Yeah. She likes to poke the bear, but I need her to start being smarter about how she pokes the bear.
Yeah.
Can you because right now you just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, be smart about poking the bear, but like don't be ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's how and so that chapter ends with like, are you prepared to prove that kind of thing? And I was like, oh, it's spicy.
It's spicy.
And now we get to 34.
I wrote one thing, and that's infection risk.
I was thinking about that I was like, anytime that there are like outdoor sex scenes, I'm like, but it's getting inside of her. You know, like if there's a scene of people like at the beach, I'm like, ooh, but you're gonna get like filled with sand, or like they're in the woods. I'm like, oh, she's gonna get filled with like mulch and
with dirt
and stuff.
And
yeah,
mushrooms.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, like yes, I did have to like
suspend reality.
I had to push past that thought of it being yucky in that sense,
especially with the rain.
I know.
Because it's not dry.
I
Because you
know.
get some dirt on your butt. It's like, if it's dry, you just like, tap, tap,
No,
tap.
but it's like mud.
No, it's like straight up mud. It's like raining. It's pouring. And I'm like, this is just not sanitary. And I just am like,
You have to I think we both had to have that moment of like, put it away. It's just a fictional book. Put it away. Because it did cross my mind too that I was like, ew.
Yeah.
It's dirty.
Like, this girl gonna get bacterial vaginosis from this.
Oh, of course, if she doesn't already have it.
There's gonna be some straight up pH imbalances up in there.
But then so he's like carrying her back to the house.
And now she starts being smart.
Yeah.
Now she starts poking the bear intelligently. And I'm like, finally, we're getting this master manipulator. Because really, this entire book has been lacking in her master manipulating.
Because then she starts like remember, so when he had first like chased her in the house like chapters ago, and he like bites her everywhere and like marks her, she now is doing that to him.
Yes.
Where she's like biting him as he's carrying her back to the house, and he literally has to stop and like hold her against the tree just to take the edge off, that he like, I was like, oh dang, he's like.
Which when I was reading that, I didn't know he was taking the edge off. I thought that it was just happening there. And then when I found out that he was just taking the edge off, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was just like about to explode.
Yeah.
And needed to like take the edge off. And then he carries her to the car, and I was like, ooh, it's spicy.
This entire scene, I literally was reading it. Like I couldn't read it, like just like enjoying the scene. I like read it and was like, where are we? What's going on? Like I literally was reading the Kindle. I put the Kindle down and I was just like, imagine like, okay, so there's a car and then there's the console space, and then there's the back seat, and then there's the seat belts.
Yo, him buckling her into the seat belts was wild.
I know, that was funny. I thought that was funny.
I thought that was funny too. He was like, buckle up.
10 points to Gryffindor for creativity.
Yeah, buckle. He literally was like
Slytherin. Actually, is more like it.
Oh my God, no. He straight up was like, yeah, you need to be buckled in for this.
I really appreciated that level of creativity, though.
Yeah.
I told Alex about that scene.
Oh, what did he say?
Because he was like, I'll tell you a little bit more about it later.
Oh.
But he was like, what is this like stuff that you're reading? And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with you knowing fully like what I'm reading in this book, just because.
Was he asking because he's been watching the podcast, or why was he asking?
He was just asking because he sees like the stack of like Thorns and Roses like on my nightstand, along with all the Throne of Glass books on my nightstand. And he's like, what is even in these? You know,
at least Nick has read them.
So he knows.
Yeah, so he's not read, as far as I know, he's not read this.
So I don't want this to be like the first, because I don't really talk to him about books because I talk to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it's something that I can't talk to you guys about, then I fill him in, and then I'm like, and then this happened, and then he's just sitting there like, okay.
It's the meme where, the girl where she's like, screaming, and then the meme then it flashes to her on the couch like, oh, like that's Alex.
So I basically was like, I actually read out loud to him, like I think it's like chapter 55 or 54 of like
of A Court of Mist and Fury.
Because he was like, what are these like sex scenes? Like how is a sex scene in a book? Like, don't you just like, what does it even say?
Okay, that was a very good one for you to ease him in with, because
that was
it's
very romantic.
It is romantic, and it's pretty like, not to be like, I don't mean vanilla in a bad way.
It's not vanilla because like everything that they've been through, and they're finally having like this romantic sex. But it's not it's not a court of silver flames.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
it was a very soft scene for you to introduce him into book sex.
Yeah. And then as I was reading it to him, he's just laying there. He's like, huh.
Trying to like.
And he's just giggling like, he was like, this is like silly. And then I was like, okay.
Oh. I was like, okay. I would have been like, oh, is that your opinion? And I would have pulled out this book.
No. I don't need him to be like, is she okay? No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's another question.
But then I told them, okay, well, sometimes things get spicier. And I told them specifically about this like scene of like, well, he puts her in the middle console and straps her in with the seat belts. And then he was like, huh. then he walks away. And I was like, I guess that's that.
You're like, well, I mean, can you give me something? Like, are you into it? Are you not?
No,
Like,
I think he literally meant, he did this face. He was like, huh. And then walked away.
like, I probably never would have thought to do that.
Yeah,
but okay.
basically, like, that's new information. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the entirety of me reading this scene, I literally am like, so they start off like this, and then they start off like that, and then she gets lifted up.
Yeah.
And then they end like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but I really did love that in this chapter is when she actually starts to realize that she wields power over him and is like getting what she wants, because this is the chapter where he's like, you're not in a prison, like you're in my church and I am your god, and she's like, oh, so am I a goddess? And like was like, get like bow to me, like get on your knees for me kind of thing. And I was like,
and then he did it.
I was like, finally.
And then he did it. And I was like, finally this girl understands her power.
Finally.
I'm like, ugh.
Yes.
So frustrated.
Oh, and then I have two other notes for this chapter is the quote where he was like, let me feel you fall in love. I was like, I'm obsessed. I'm hooked. If I wasn't already, I'm hooked.
The man got away with words.
He sure does. He sure does. That was...
Other methods are like questionable, but the words, I'm like,
that was such a great moment.
It was.
It was such a great moment. And then the only other thing is that Gigi's note at the end of this chapter made me really sad, because this is where she finally told John that she wants a divorce and that he got like super violent.
Yeah.
But that was really like all about the note. But yeah, that was all I had for that chapter.
Yeah.
Chapter 35 was also a great chapter.
I think I must have really like been like really reading it because I have no notes.
Chapter 30. Okay, so 35 is like they have... Did I just smear my stuff all over my forehead?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I like had a little like mascara flake and I felt myself like rub it on my forehead. Anyway, so they like go at it all night, but we don't get to like read that part. It just flashes to the next morning of him being like, they're
on the balcony.
Yeah, and he literally was like, he like starts to get like aroused by her and he was like, like literally, no, I can't. It hurts.
I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard when I read that it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. But I
didn't know that guys could hurt. Like after, I remember a friend mentioning it to me.
Oh, I had
TMI.
No.
So I had a friend and she and her boyfriend basically were intimate like 3 times within the same day, and they tried for a 4th time, and then she said that it hurt him and it hurt her too.
Oh my god.
So I was like, so when I read that, I just started laughing.
That's funny. Yeah. I didn't know that either. I mean, I know that like for me personally, like I am not like, I don't have a lot of cushion. And so like if a guy has like bony hips, sometimes if they like hit you with their hip bone, it'll like bruise, you know? So I've had that before, but I didn't realize that their dick hurts, you know? Like I didn't know that.
That was so funny.
It was funny.
I cackled, laughed at that.
But you know the audio that is like all over Instagram where it's like the like fall in love again and again. That song was playing in my head when they're having this conversation about like Gigi and Ronaldo and like perhaps they're reincarnated souls, and he's like, and I chase you in every lifetime and I am like consumed by you, and I was like, yes.
I was like, boy, I was like, well, this man is giving yearning.
Yes.
Yearning, but like yearning without restraint.
Yeah.
You know, like he already, like they have already been intimate, obviously, but it's like the yearning does not stop.
And I love though that he adds it like he loves at the. I love that he adds at the end of that, like, but realistically, like, regardless of if that is true or not, like in this lifetime, I love you till like the end of time. Yeah. And I was like, thank you. That was so cute.
I literally was like, at this point, how could she not forgive this man?
I know. And that's why I said I love the honesty, because he fills her in fully about the society and like what they do and why he's feeling guilty about the fact that he was there and they had been performing a ritual and like he didn't know it was happening at the time to like stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he talks about the fact that they were like drinking and like bathing in the blood of the kid that they like sacrificed, and I was like, what? Like, disgusting. But this chapter actually like really explains a lot about some of the stuff that we had been talking about before, because I love that we were saying like, oh man, I wish he had like a backstory that I related to more. And he says like, or like Addie basically goes on the same journey that we do. And she writes that like it's messed up that it's so hard to believe that he does this simply because he wants to, not because he has some tragic backstory.
And I was like, I felt so like added.
Yeah.
But I feel like the author wrote that specific. She must have gotten some kind of feedback, because she definitely wrote that intentionally of like, well, is it so messed up to believe that someone would want to stop human trafficking without some tragic backstory of it happening to a loved one?
Yep.
Like, can we not all agree that immoral and disgusting things should be put to a stop, and that we should all play a role in stopping them?
Yep. Yeah. And I was thinking like, it is messed up that it's so hard to believe that someone would go to all those lengths to save people simply because they want to, rather than having like something terrible happen to them or someone that they love as their like motive, you know? Yeah. So I really, I did feel added for that. I was like, dang.
But she read us to filth.
She sure did. She sure did. Applause. And it was super sad about his parents dying in the car accident, because they sound like they were lovely people.
Yeah.
They really do sound like they were lovely people.
When he talks about them, he like they're in like in other chapters, he talks about how much his parents loved him.
Yeah, nothing but love.
And I was like just the way that he said it, I was like, how could you, like, that's all you could ever want for someone. Yeah. Like, it was so sad, but also so endearing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he talks about his mom being like the inspo for the roses, that he was like, my mom just always had the house full of roses with the thorns cut off so I wouldn't hurt myself on them. I was like, oh, okay. So like there is a connection. Yeah. And I kind of also felt like, well, that's nice that like Addie kind of brought that piece back to life a little bit. Yeah. You know, that he's like a
little bit more human.
Yeah. And now he has a reason for the house to be like full of roses again, you know? Yeah. So I was like, well, that's kind of cute. But I was a little annoyed with Addie, because she was like, well, she was like, it's going to take me a while to like accept the things that you do, but I can accept like you saving those like children and girls. And I was like, she accepted the easy thing. Like, everybody could accept that he is saving these children and these girls, you know, like anybody can accept that. But like, we've been on this journey for 500 pages now, and we are still kind of on the fence about some of this other stuff about like, is this okay? Is it not? So I get her not being able to accept it like that, you know?
I think I really appreciated her honesty.
Yes.
I really appreciated her honesty. I thought that it was really nice that she didn't bait him. Yeah. You know, which is not bare minimum, but like, yeah, it's bare minimum at this point. Like, he's telling you serious stuff. Like, it's not a time to play around. Yeah. The thing that if I was Addie, what I would say is like, I can accept that this is what you do for your job. I can accept, like, obviously, like, it's wonderful that what you're doing, and if there's anything I can do to actually like help, I will. And I can accept that you're killing bad people. What I would tell him is, it's going to take me a while to forgive you for the way that you started all of this. Because we could have literally had this if you had just asked me out like a normal person and slowly introduced me to like the full range of who you are, like how you normally do when you normally date someone. Yeah. You know, I think I would have told him, like, you know, I still need to forgive you for tormenting me. Yeah. That's what I would have been like, sir, this is not going to be like cut and dry. Yeah.
And now we get to the part where they are out on the balcony having this conversation, and in walks Dea.
You ready to solve a murder?
Oh my God.
I cackled in this part also.
And
I was like, finally, she gets to see who her boss is.
Yes. And the fact that she like goes to punch him and he has to like stop her from falling over the balcony rail because he like moves out of the way and she has so much like momentum that she's about to go over the balcony.
And he's like, well, she definitely could pack a punch.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be like a whole loaf of bread being
Yeah,
thrown at me. I thought that was so funny. Addie hitting him is a slice of bread, and Dea hitting him is impressive because it's a whole loaf of bread.
I know. Oh my god.
I just imagine like a cartoon, and it's like a boop, and it's like the bread just bouncing off, and him being like, "The hell."
Yeah.
I found that to be so fun. I was living for his chapters.
I was living for his chapters. We were getting a ton of his chapters.
Yeah,
at the
we were
end.
getting a lot of his chapters, and his chapters were very interesting, I found. And I was like, not like, when it would switch over to Addie, I would be like, meh. Yeah. Just because the exciting plot points are happening in his chapters.
For him
it's like
now.
the whole society. It's like big plot points.
Yeah. And basically Dea's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and then she gets confirmation like that he is Z. And I love that
she's like, oh, he signs my paychecks.
I love his comment that he's like, you don't need to be a bitch. I do sign your paycheck. I thought that was so funny.
I'm surprised she didn't flick him off. I feel like I would have flicked him off. Like if you were Addie and this was happening to you, and he said that, I would have been like, I would have flicked him off and then been like, don't fire me, sir. And then flicked him off again and been like, I feel very conflicted, and walked away.
You're giving the Elmo where he's like, fuck you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. No, I would have definitely like, I wouldn't have cared if he's my boss. I think I would have literally been like, what you did to my friend was messed up.
Yeah.
You're freaking a creeper. But if this is her decision and she decides to be with you, then I will fully support her because I love her.
I would be like,
I would walk away.
I would be like, okay, but I also saw the way that she walked out of the House of Mirrors having like her soul sucked out of her and the best sex of her life. So like, I guess you're forgiven. Like,
do you have a brother?
Yeah. Oh my god. Where can I find one?
A cousin?
Yeah.
A male friend who you would think could be related to you, but actually isn't. Anyone?
But I love that this chapter ends with him basically leaving and being like I trust you, Addie, to like have discretion with like what you disclose to her. Which I kind of was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. That like now, like I've always been of the opinion that things like what he does are on a need to know basis. And when you start getting more people that know, the more chances there are that things go wrong. Not that I don't like trust Addie or Dea necessarily.
She is his employee, so she is hacking to prevent human trafficking.
She's just not involved in this operation. Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, that's nice that at least he like has the trust with Addie that he's like, tell her what you want to tell her. Like,
and she ends up telling Dea everything, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the next chapter that like.
Would you tell a friend everything? Like if it
No.
were you and me, would you tell me everything?
Probably not. I would tell you like he's involved in some dangerous stuff. But until he's finished with it,
I'm not sharing.
I
I think that's so interesting because before asking you this question, I knew what I would do, and I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Because it's need to know. It's everybody's safety.
Yeah.
It's just the more people
know. It's need to know, but also it's like the way that I would see it is like, heaven forbid something goes sideways and you are seen as someone who would have intel and you get captured and tortured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like for most of my friends, I can look at them and say, I don't think I have a single friend that I would say it's some really dangerous stuff. The people that you saw me with were involved. It's dangerous and I can't tell you anything more. I feel like most of my good friends would be like, say less.
Heard. Yeah, exactly.
Know? And if I heard that, I'd be like, say less. And also, please tell me like if you need me.
And when it's done and like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like keep me filled in on like the general safety and whereabouts of things, but like I don't need to know.
Like if you need somebody to be at home with you. Just because you need somebody to help you take the edge off.
Yeah.
Like just let me know.
Yeah, exactly. And I get that Dea has the right to be angry with Addie, but I agree that up until this point of Zade saying, like, I trust you, you can tell her, it was not Addie's place to disclose what he was doing.
No, I completely agree that it wasn't her place. I think what Dea is upset about is that this entire process has been pulling teeth with Addie. Like,
yeah,
I feel like
because Addie's got a bit of shame surrounding
she
it.
She does, and I understand that. But at the same time, it's like Dea has proven herself to be someone who's like not judging. Like, she's terrified.
Yeah.
But like there's been previous chapters where Addie literally says, and of course, like, she didn't judge me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like she could have at least told her, like, she could have told her, like, did she tell her that she's going to? Yeah, Dea knew about the event.
Yes.
With Zade, but she didn't tell her. I think what Dea was really upset about was that Addie didn't tell her like the full spectrum of what she was feeling.
Yeah.
I think if Addie, but I guess she couldn't be honest with herself at that point, which is probably why she didn't share.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a bit of like this internal feeling of like, she is falling in love with him, but like, how do I tell my friend that I'm falling in love with my stalker?
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of like a unique situation that requires nuances, because she's not just falling in love. She's not just falling in love with her stalker.
Yeah.
She's falling in love with a man that's dedicating his life to stop human trafficking. She's falling in love with a man who's never lied to her.
Yeah.
She's falling in love with a man that, like,
they got that pee-pee dough.
Okay, that part too, right? Like, it's the physical chemistry is something that's super duper important.
Yeah.
And boy, do they have that.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but she's also falling in love with a guy that, for better or worse, she knows is like fully on board with her. Like, it's not like she's falling in love with a guy that's just trying to hit it and quit it.
Oh no, he's in it for life.
Like, she fully knows that he is like devoted.
He's like, you will have my babies. You will have my ring on your finger.
So the way that he's done all this, like, yes, it sucks.
Does it?
Yes. Yes, dude. Like, that's like, that would, like, you, how would you even go to therapy? Because how could you even look at your therapist in the face and say, like, I'm about to tell you all the stuff that I need to unpack, but also, like, I am fully where I want to be and don't want to make any changes.
It's like those videos where you see
can't even work through your shit.
Was it you that sent me the video of like the super tall girl and she like pushes the guy to the ground and she's like, bark, and he immediately is like, woof, and the caption is like, that man is exactly where he wants to be, leave him alone. That's exactly what it's giving.
Like, you can't even go to a therapist and be like, this is how this started out and it's kind of fucked up, but I'm trying to work through it and like keep my sanity to some extent. And your therapist is gonna be like, are you being abused? And you're like, no, I'm being ravished.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? I'm exactly where I want to be.
Oh my God, I know. Oh.
How do you? You can't.
You can't. No.
That's why I'm saying that's the thing that she should like chew him out for.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Addie would have totally been into the kinky stuff.
Oh, of course.
Like, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I think he would have said it and she would have been like, this man
just,
beautifuler.
It's just, instead of like slowly like dropping her into it, he just like shoved her into the deep end and was like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, like, you'll figure out how to swim.
Yeah.
But this is the murder, or the chapter where we get more about Gigi's murder. Somehow, like, this envelope shows up at Addie's house. Mm-hmm. It's full of Gigi in pictures with some guy. Mm-hmm. And there's like a letter in there. And like, I don't know why when they read it, maybe it's because we had already talked about the possibility of it being Frank. I just immediately was like, it's Frank in the pictures. Because the fact that Addie was like, this guy is vaguely familiar, I was like, well, he probably looks like Mark. Mm-hmm. You know, because that's Mark's dad. Mm-hmm.
We did talk about it being Frank.
Yeah, we did talk about
five.
it. Yeah, we did talk about it
We
being
saw
Frank.
that coming.
Yeah, we did see that coming. It was not our initial like hypothesis, but
we didn't know about Frank
exactly.
enough.
Yeah, exactly. But we did get there.
And you know what? I literally wrote, I go, ha! Exclamation mark. I knew it was Frank! Exclamation mark.
Yeah,
because you like, it's so rare that you have an upstanding member of society, like a man that's like good to the bone, and their son turns out to be a deranged, depraved pedophile. Like,
yeah. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I was like, this Frank, when we find out that Frank is Mark's father, I was like, this man was not a good man.
Yeah, and then also like the fact that I think you said it pretty clearly of like the people who are involved in a crime try and get involved in the investigation to like derail it or like see how close they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you definitely like sniff that one out right away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they try. Yeah. It was really sad that we learned that Ronaldo died of a broken heart after Gigi's murder.
Yeah.
That was devastating. That one really made my heart sad.
I know.
That made my heart real sad. And then, so they find, Addie was basically like, okay, yeah, like, we don't know, we think it's Frank that's like in these pictures, or like, we don't know. And one of them gets the idea to like go look in the attic again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Addie.
then they find the watch
Mm-hmm.
with a note.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that it was Frank's watch. Mm-hmm. Well, we don't find that out immediately in this chapter. But it matches the watch that he's wearing in the pictures.
Yeah. They have to go through the whole process of the serial
the forensics. Yeah, exactly. I said, yeah, that could be damning that it matches what's like in the picture. And then we end the chapter with Gigi's note about like her family getting into trouble by a scorned man. Like, is so sad. Like, how dare he feel so entitled
to her.
Entitled to her.
He was no one.
He
wasn't her husband. He wasn't her lover. All he was a man that wanted and didn't get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he felt so entitled to that love and affection that it was worth ripping her away from her child.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And I have some other thoughts later on in other chapters of
disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Okay, yeah. So now 37 is like Z is getting ready to go. I still like am in the habit of calling him Z instead of calling him Zade. He's like getting
because Zaddy.
Yeah. He's getting ready to go to this like gentleman's club.
My heart's beating out of my chest.
Yeah, exactly. But I just love that Jay is trying so hard to like make him feel better, and he's like, you know, like, you can't save them all. You can't change what's already happened about like the other kid that was sacrificed, you know?
And Z's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Honestly, from knowing what we know about Z, if I was Jay, I would literally say, I know how you are. I know everything I'm going to say is going to fall on deaf ears. So I want you to take everything that you're feeling and you're going to put it towards making sure that this goes exactly as planned and that none of those mother effers get out of here alive.
Facts. Yeah.
And then I feel like Z would have been like, yeah.
Yeah. But I really don't like that he's starting to get involved with this Dan guy and they're testing like his loyalty to join. I was like, I don't like this whatsoever.
Every interaction is like,
I was like, this
is not it.
I just was like, this cannot end well.
No.
Also, like, Jay's such a busybody about like asking about Addie.
I would
like,
be too. What?
Yeah,
What you mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, tell me more. Your methods are definitely unconventional, maybe possibly even immoral.
Yeah.
Maybe? No, probably immoral.
Yeah. This is where I said, I pictured him more like G.I. Joe style with like the like kind of sandy fade. Mm-hmm. But this is where we know that Zade is wearing like the Armani like fitted suit, and I was like,
Oof.
I was like, I bet that looks nice.
I know it looks nice.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, the all black Armani fitted suit. I literally was like, oh, it's a 3-piece suit, right?
Yeah, it is a 3-piece suit.
There's nothing more attractive than when a man wears a 3-piece suit, let me tell you.
Spicy.
Oh, my gosh. There's something about it.
And I thought it was so funny that Jay goes, you look beautiful.
I'm not beautiful, Lord, I'm beautiful.
I know. Oh, but
I love that. I thought that was so funny.
and then him taking the shot of like, oh, I like my women willing. And then the insecurity about needing to call his booty call just to make sure that they actually liked him, because he was like, wait a minute. Like,
Yeah, because Zade said something along the lines of like, I know when a woman's body weeps for me.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
yeah.
And then Jay was like, do I know when a woman's body weeps for me? And calls booty call. Hey, do you actually like me?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and so then we like he goes into Dan's house. He's there for this like dinner, basically, which is like the like pre-initiation kind of thing. And he's looking at the artwork in this house, and it's like landscape painting, and then it's like you take a step back and you realize it's the girl crying blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. Like,
yeah.
It was just icky.
It's like when celebrities have art that like is just like grotesque or like in poor taste.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, all that money to have like your tastes. In Spanish, we say gusto en el culo, which means you have your taste in your ass, which means you have horrible taste.
Oh my
so
God.
all that money to have horrible taste.
And be a fucking creep, yeah.
Yeah, and be like a disgusting person.
Yeah. And then that chapter ends.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Before we say that,
this
chapter, they're in like the dining room, and then this like I wrote, I'm fucking terrified where this is going. I literally wrote that down. I'm terrified of what the heck is about to happen next.
Because the center of the table like
is empty.
Yes, because like I know when I host, like the center of the table is you have a centerpiece. Like a candle, like some flowers, like something is always, or even like the dishes of like food to be like passed around or something. Like the center of the table is never empty. So it's just like, oh, like what is about to be there?
Yeah. So and then they go, I wrote, dinner is served, ? I cry. And I feel like it's because this chapter ends with the servant bringing in like a little like five-year-old girl. And the 5-year-old girl is like terrified. Yeah. And I think Dan is the one that's like, okay, let's like get dinner started.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, if this turns into where I think this is going, I am going to like just like
puke,
lose my mind. Like I am not going to be okay for a while, because that's just so disgusting and deplorable.
I know.
And it reminded me of like, so one time, I can't remember if it was like a roommate or somebody was watching like a horror movie, and I just so happened to walk by, and in the horror movie, it was like, it was something similar happening. And the thing that we're all thinking about that is insinuated was happening in the movie to like an adult. But like that image of that, I just walked by that TV and that image ingrained in me. And I'm like, I still believe that there are some things that like is just so indecent that they should not exist. And to me, whatever movie that was so indecent that it should literally just not exist. But anyway, I was like, it also reminded me of, okay, so this is like speculation because I don't remember where it's from. But like years ago, I saw that there was this like new trendy restaurant. Have you guys ever seen The Menu? Have you seen the movie The Menu?
Mm-mm.
It's like a thriller horror movie.
Do they eat people?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But if you haven't seen it, spoiler, the whole movie is basically like these people pay top money to go to this private island where a chef makes like 5-star meals, and it's supposed to be like a whole experience, and it's supposed to be like, oh, avant-garde and all this stuff, right? Like very like ooh. And the chef, he becomes fed up with the fact that like people don't enjoy his food anymore. Like he can put anything on a plate and anybody would enjoy it just because of his reputation. So he comes up with this super like exclusive meal for his restaurant that's on a private island, and him and his staff all agree that by the end of the night they are going to kill all the guests and they're going to kill themselves. So as the night progresses, things get weirder and weirder. The actress is in it. The one, it's like her name's Anna something. The one that was in the movie Split.
I don't think I've seen that either.
Shoot. She's the one that she looks like she could be like a great fan cast for playing like the corpse bride in the Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
She's Argentinian. I forget her name, but I think it's like Anna something. And anyway, she's in the movie, and basically what you find out is that she's working kind of like as a escort, and the guy who paid for her to be there wanted her as an escort because his original date like broke up with him and canceled. So she finds out that this guy fully invited her and hired her for this night, knowing because the guy knew, nobody knew that they were going to die, but the guy fully knew that they were all going to die. So he invited her to basically die. And so I tell you all that to tell you that years ago, before this movie, there was like some fancy schmancy LA restaurant where you would have like, they would have models in the middle of the table that were naked, and they would place sushi on the models.
Oh
and you would like kind of like Sushi Yama, but instead of it being a boat, it's like a person.
I don't trash Sushi Yama's name like that. That place is great.
And you're getting like sushi from like the person. And it reminded me of this because when I first heard about that restaurant, I was like, first of all, health hazard. Second of all, that's kind of gross. Third of all, that's kind of like sexual, but also like cannibalism at the same time.
Yeah, like you're eating,
really
like you're consuming the person.
So it reminded me of this.
Oh, I was just afraid that they were gonna like sacrifice her in the middle of the dining room table.
Yeah,
and like drink her blood or like something like that.
I straight up like this. That basically this entire chapter triggered me.
Yeah,
all the horrible little things that I like from movies and like news and media. Like grossed out.
Oh, and of course, like the chapter ends with him being like, oh, dinner's served, and they bring in this little girl. And then it flashes to Addie's perspective. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, I don't.
No, I don't. We've already solved the murder.
Our life is on the line right now.
Yes. And I think the fact that we already had the murder solved, and I already knew it was Nana that was involved in the cover-up.
Yeah, you sniffed that out so fast.
Yeah, that one. So all of chapter 38, I'm like, can we please get back to Zade?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah.
Because I need to know that he saves this child.
Yes,
please.
I need to know that too. And the whole time I'm thinking that this dinner is going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Like somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
Is
most
what
likely
I'm
the child. Yeah.
Exactly. So I literally
for 38
I wrote, I knew Frank had something to do with it.
Yep.
That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say for this chapter, I wonder if the reason why Nana helped Frank cover up the murder was in part because since Frank couldn't get Gigi, I wonder if he tried to have a relationship with Serafina.
Oh God, I hope not. I sure hope not.
Because she's 16.
She is 16.
And
pretty.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And basically, like, not a carbon copy of her mom,
but like the next best thing,
yes.
You know? Like,
so and we get the thing that Mark was obsessed
with Serafina.
And I'm like, well, how far does the apple fall from the tree? Is this like a situation where like Frank had like a relationship with Serafina
or
that
like
no one knew about, and because of that he manipulated Serafina to cover up the murder? Because why else would she do it?
Yeah.
What other motive could she have to cover up her own mother's murder
Yeah.
if it wasn't that she was getting manipulated by someone else?
Yeah. The whole thing was like in this chapter, like I did know for a while. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Nana.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the chapter didn't give me what I was looking for why.
Yeah, like a revelation.
Like we don't.
I feel like maybe that'll come in Haunting Adeline or Hunting.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, well, like, did she witness the murder? Like, was she there and then he threatened to kill her too? Or if she didn't, like, cover it up? Like, what was the reason that she chose to cover it up?
Knowing what we know about Mark,
it was something icky.
I would bet money that Frank was having a relationship with a 16-year-old Serafina.
Yeah.
And Serafina probably thought that she was, like, in love.
Yep.
Or getting manipulated, and she covered it up.
Yeah. And also, I feel like I'm very surprised. Okay, no. I can't say that I'm very surprised because sometimes Addie's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But we get Gigi's note at the end of this chapter. And she's like pleading with her killer not to take her from her child, and they did it anyways. And then like she also is like, he's got incredible connections and the police are likely to believe him. I'm like, that screams that it was Frank.
Mm-hmm.
How did
it's not her grandpa.
No.
Or her great grandfather.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo would not be believed by the police.
No, he's on the opposite side of the law.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just can't believe that Addie, I want to say I can't believe that Addie read the journal and like didn't put that together, but also Addie be a little stupid sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised either. But reading that note from Gigi, I was like, okay, yeah, the gun was handed to us.
One thing that I wanted to mention that I didn't in chapter 36 was, what is the dark presence in the attic?
Yeah.
Like, what is, because I find it very hard to believe that the dark presence is Gigi or Nana.
Yeah.
So what is the dark presence in the attic?
Is it Frank?
That's what I was thinking. Is it Frank? Did he die in the house? Did like Serafina
Did she kill him?
Yes. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, shit.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because we know Frank is dead, but do they ever tell us how?
They don't tell us how.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember if he died when Mark was a young man. But I wonder if maybe it's Frank and maybe like the watch is not necessarily something that she covered up in the moment of her mom's murder, but like after she killed Frank.
Damn.
Because what is the dark presence in the house?
Yeah.
It's not the construction workers that died. It's not Gigi. She wouldn't be a dark presence. And it's not Nana. She wouldn't be a dark presence either. And we know that Gigi's husband, Nana's dad, didn't die in the house because the minute that Nana turned 18, he was like, I'm leaving this house.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, there's like unresolved questions with that. Mm-hmm. Because my thought was like, why would Nana have covered stuff up? You know? Mm-hmm. Because you would think that if her mom was murdered, she would want them to figure it out.
Yeah.
But that would make sense if she got her revenge and killed him.
Yeah.
And wanted nothing like to be discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I buy it.
Yeah. Because also we find out there. So I think we find out. I think it was 38 that she has the conversation with her mom, right? Adeline has a conversation with her mom, and
her mom knew. Her mom knew that Nana knew that Frank killed Gigi.
And the fact that like she sent her the envelope with the photos, why? It makes no logical sense to me as to why the mom would do that all of a sudden. But also like Adeline reflects and she's like, that's why like I don't remember my mom and my grandmother ever having a good relationship. And I'm like, was it always like that? It probably wasn't. It probably was Nana finally told her.
Or she found out.
or she found out.
Yeah. 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 I couldn't believe. I was wondering, like, well, where the heck did this random envelope
Come
from? At
I
first,
thought it came from Mark before he died.
yes, I thought so too. I was like, well, that's weird. And then she's on the phone, and after the news story breaks of like they solved the murder, blah blah blah, and her mom is like calling her and talking about it, and she's like, this fucking bitch knew that Nana was involved in covering up Gigi's murder.
Maybe it's also like the mom knows how much Adeline loved her grandmother.
Yeah.
And you can't tell like a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old, hey, you know your grandmother that you love so much? Well, she covered up a murder.
Yeah.
And that's why I have beef with her.
She needed her to find it.
Yeah. Because it's like, because I can see it from the perspective of Adeline's mom's got a lot of issues, but also maybe she didn't want to maybe she remembers what her relationship was like with her mother before she found out, and she didn't want to ruin that for Adeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe she's like, you know what? If I'm the villain in this movie, then I'm the villain.
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's a lot of times where parents do that. When there's like divorce or something in the family where it's like the parent that like steps up and is with the kids the most, that's not the fun parent, is really the parent who like, you know,
the one that the kids grow to respect as an adult and be closer with. Yeah.
And realize that like they did so much for them.
Yes.
Like I saw a video on Instagram that was this girl talking about how her mom never told, like her mom would get them Christmas gifts and say that it was from their dad. And then she found out as an adult that her dad never paid a penny of like child support. So all that was so that the kids never felt like their dad didn't love them.
Yep. Some parents will do anything to protect their kid.
Yeah.
From yeah. So that like it was a resolution, but also I read it, and first of all I read it was like, well, we fucking knew that, you know, like it was I was like, dang, we totally like solved this one for ourselves super early.
Nancy Drew style.
Yeah, but then I agree that I was like, I feel like some of it just doesn't make sense though, you know, and so
there's still more to divulge.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and so then we finally get to 39 and it flashes back to Zade at this dinner. And like, I love that this little girl was actually like super smart. You know, that he like, okay, first of all, it was terrible that he basically had to like pretend to be like the hungriest predator.
Yeah.
To get this child into his lap.
So nobody else would,
Yes. But I love that he was able to whisper to her, like, don't react, but like, I am here to save you kind of thing. And she fully like went along with it, you know? Like, she was a very smart little girl.
Yeah.
But
she was like, okay.
Yeah, I totally thought though. So like, they're at this dinner, he's got the girl, and then bang, like the FBI busts in.
Yeah.
I thought that they were also gonna
arrest him
and think he wasn't one of the criminals. Yeah. And I was like, no!
But that's why he pressed the button on his
watch. Yeah.
I think in previous chapters they mentioned that his watch has like a diversion thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, but I did think that too. I'm like, dude, what are the odds that maybe like this is like actual FBI
and not his men?
Yes.
Which we do find out that it is his men. Yes.
Yeah.
But
and then I was like, I found it very like interesting to like, oh, like he's like undercover, but not really, because he is doing everything to play a part, which is good because like, this role is disgusting.
I know,
but like the way that he sets up everything, it's so interesting. It's kind of like the illusion. It's like he sits the little girl on his lap, but she's sitting on his knee, not anywhere like
nowhere near his private areas. Yeah.
And he puts a hand on her knee far away enough that it's like up her back on her knee enough that it's like, this is mine, but also like the child can feel like this is not like
predatory.
Yeah, this is not like
I am not unsafe right now. Yeah.
And then the fact that he whispers and the fact that he grabs Dan's hand, because it starts to describe like Dan basically like
about to feel her up, yeah.
Yeah, but no, not feel her up.
Oh.
He was feeling himself up.
Oh, that! Oh.
Girl, I was like, disgusting. I
forgot about that. No, I thought he went to go like grab her. Yeah,
no,
you're right.
I literally was like, what? I was like, what kind of like little bitch shit is this? You know?
Yeah.
It's just like extra like little like grimy little bug of a man.
And
it's like, bleh.
And also the fact that, okay, yes, we know he's acting, but the fact that he was like, do I not get to go like enjoy her in private? Like they fully expected him to like molest this child in front of all of them.
Dude,
for them all like to enjoy.
Yes. That, and also just the fact that he said those words grossed me out so bad.
I know.
Like, I know where he's getting at, like trying to get the child separated, but like also just like the fact that I knew that like there were other people in the room that were interpreting that in a different way was like extra fucking gross.
I know.
I love how I just got this. Oh, perfect timing. I just got a meme that's the guy being like,
yeah.
face.
Oh no.
It was just so disgusting.
It was disgusting. Oh.
And like, you know what? I think he says that there's like this is bad, and this might be like my own like biases, but like I'm pretty sure somewhere in there he says that there's also like women in the room.
There are.
And I just don't understand. Like, I know that women can be predators too, but I can't imagine a grown woman. And I know that there are women that participate in sex trafficking, like to abduct people and take them. But I just can't imagine, like, how can you be like a grown woman and you see this little girl
and like
you don't want to protect
the
her.
maternal instinct just does not exist. Yeah, I know. That was I thought that as well. Like the second, like I see any little kid and like if I'm at like a theme park or something and like I love when little kids wave at me and I'm like, hi, like, and I'm like, you are my child and I shall protect you. Even though I've like literally just looked at this kid for 2 seconds and said hi to them.
Yeah.
So
like precious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just could never imagine not protecting a kid, you know?
Yeah.
It really just, it's so, ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. And then the diversion happens, FBI!
And
yeah,
and
it's like action-packed.
He gets out, he gets the little girl to Ruby. But it's so cute because he was like, I'm gonna like get you home. And she's like, are my parents even like alive? You know, she's like, are my mommy and daddy dead? And it like hadn't even like occurred to him. Yeah. But that's like really sad to think that like in the process of them like stealing this child, they fully could have murdered her parents. Yeah, they fully could have. Yeah. And then she's like, will you be my daddy?
My heart shattered
into a million pieces.
I literally was like, this man better say yes.
But I also love that his internal monologue was kind of like, I'd have to check with Addie, but otherwise I would adopt her in a heartbeat.
I know. I was like, oh, when she looked at me with her big brown eyes and I was a puddle of ice cream. I know. I was like, adopt this girl. She's your new daughter. I know. You and Adeline are gonna be happy parents.
I know. It was so cute.
The way that also I could totally imagine Zade coming home and being like, so I did a thing. And we now have a 5-year-old child. And I could totally see Adeline being like, I cannot believe you did this. Like, oh, and then falling in love with the little girl and being like, she's our baby.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God, it would have been so cute.
Yeah.
And it could still happen. You never know.
Could still happen. I'm rooting for it. And then it's so funny because I just pictured their entire life after this.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then the little girl comes home with a puppy and she's like, so I did a thing. and then like Addie just and like now they have a new dog and Addie just looks at Zade and is like, she gets it from you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So cute.
Oh, but with the way that this chapter ended, I thought it was super smart that he had the foresight to have the fake FBI agents like catch him too, so that he looks innocent in like Dan's eyes, not like, oh, I just so happened to like get away.
Yeah.
No, like that was really smart that he had them like also like arrest him. Yeah. And that was how the chapter ended.
Which I was like, at this point, I was like, okay, that wasn't the giant shit fest I expected it to be.
Yes.
And then I was like, there's only 2 more chapters, and the next book is called Haunting Adeline. I feel like shit's about to hit the fan.
I know. I also still like, maybe this is the realism in me, but by the end of that chapter, I was like, it's too easy.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought.
He was able to get her out, not a scratch on her, like, it's too easy.
I literally said, ain't no way.
Yeah. So I still was just like, I don't like it. Like, I like it, and I'm glad that this little girl is safe, but, like, I don't like it. My spidey senses are tingling.
The spidey senses are on fire.
Yeah.
I wrote, this man a softie.
He is a softie. He is a softie for sure.
Just a little, 1 or 2 nuts and bolts loose up in that noggin, but other than that, he's a softie.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then chapter 40 is also from his perspective. And I actually thought this was such an interesting concept where he's like, although I've taken advantage of Addie on several occasions, at least her being awake and coherent allowed me to watch her body's reactions. Doesn't make it right, but her body has always wept for me. And even if it didn't, if it ever didn't, I wouldn't have touched her until it did. That I actually was like kind of happy to hear from his perspective.
That was the author being like, okay, now that I've like mind bended you and made you feel all these things that you're not okay with, let me just further emphasize that if she hadn't like been like, if her body hadn't been into it.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I wrote about why this is so interesting.
I'm like, actually, I don't think that makes it better.
Because I said it's so interesting to insinuate unspoken consent.
Yeah.
That, like, yeah, her words might have been like, no, don't do it. But her body was like, yes. Like.
But I've also heard of some victims, their bodies reacting in a way that they didn't expect.
Yeah.
And then them having to go to therapy and kind of unpack that and be like, why did my body react like this when this was something horrible and traumatic?
It's biological wiring. Okay, this is probably terrible.
I heard a therapist say that it's in part like a way for your body to protect yourself also.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I heard, but that was a really long time ago, so I could be misremembering. Do not take what I'm saying as like...
This is not unsolicited medical advice.
Yes, this is not at all, like, no medical knowledge. This is just hearsay from, like, me, like, learning about, like, therapy and stuff, like, from, like, educational things, but, like...
No, the angle that I was gonna approach it from is, like, I grew up on a farm for the first, like, almost 10 years of my life, and we had animals, and, like, animals, like... Rape culture is a big thing for farm animals. Like, their consent is not a thing, So, like, I remember being little and, like, this is probably so graphic, but, like, one of our roosters, like, basically raping one of our chickens, and she's, like, screaming. And I'm like, what is happening to my chicken? And I'm, like, 5, you know? So, like, to me, I'm, like, reading some of this and, like, understanding that, like, their body has a reaction. I'm like, it's the biological wiring of, like, men like pursue for like reproduction, like the hen was not willing, but then eventually they lay an egg and a chicken happens, so I'm like, it's part of it is like the like
you're thinking like evolution wise, like you're trying to like
of like the idea of us having sex for romantic love is a new concept in the
instead of producing an heir and stuff.
Well, or even like, not that like early humans would like attack women, but basically that it was like before we understood that like we could have like romantic connection that way, like I would not at all be surprised if it used to be that women went about their business
and got snatched.
Yeah, exactly. Just like my poor chicken.
Well, now that I think about it, I don't think that his argument of her body weeping for him makes much sense, but whatever. We'll suspend
It made you feel better in the moment.
In the moment, I was like, okay, I guess. But like, we'll suspend sanity for now, I guess.
Yeah. And I just love that, like, he wakes her up and then they're like about getting spicy and he's like about to do stuff and she calls him baby and he's like,
oh yes, I was like, finally the master manipulator's coming out, because he was about to tell her, like, bark an order at her, and she was like, she said like baby hush or something.
Yeah,
what did she say?
I'd have to look.
Like baby hush, and I was like, finally this girl's being the master manipulator she claims to be.
Oh, I'm way too far back. Where's 40? Let's see.
She definitely was like baby hush.
Yeah, I love that she like put him in his place. Where does she say it? Oh yeah, she says he was like on the bottom trying to get her to like sit on him, and she's struggling because he's a little massive, and he was like about to be like, you have 5 fucking seconds, and she goes, shh, baby, like just like, and he was like, what? Like, what is this?
I think in that moment, if you had like a camera on his face, you would instantly see like eyes dilate.
Yeah,
like
yeah. yeah. Oh, I thought that was funny. I love that he's all macho, like, until she decides to be like, no, I'm in control, and he's like, yeah.
He's like, I've been trying to tell you.
And this was the part where
I wrote first consensual relationship question.
Yeah. And
it only took 40 chapters.
Because this is also the part where he tells her to run.
Yes.
And I loved it.
That was so funny to me.
I loved it.
Because she was like, it was like a game.
It was.
And I was like, you see, if you had just dated her normally, this is what it would have been like from the beginning.
Yes, because she was so into it.
So I'm literally like, bro, you're just making me frustrated. But you know what I loved? I loved him describing what she was wearing. And he was like, did she wear this for me?
And we know that she did.
She did. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, finally, the first consensual stuff happening.
Yeah. And then, so like they do their spicy stuff and it's great. And then I just love that he tells her about the little girl being like, will you be my daddy? And Addie was like, wait, what?
And I was like, wait a minute, this is moving a little too fast for me.
Yeah, exactly. But she was also kind of
I know that if she met that little girl and her parents actually were dead and there was no one else to take her, she'd probably be like,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I now have a daughter. I mean, she's 26. Like, she could have a daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? She's 26, an established career in a house that's paid off and renovated with Zade, who makes a bajillion dollars in doing his hacking stuff.
And his little Armani suit. And I'm like, okay.
Yes, like they're fine.
They would have such a beautiful life.
They would have such a beautiful life, truly and honestly. She would have like a countryside life with like the perks of being 30 minutes from the city. Yeah. Which is like nothing. You can drive that. No problem.
The only downside is now that she's falling in love with him, like she's got the terror of knowing what he does for a living.
Of him possibly not coming home one day.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, there are some men that are worth that terror.
Facts.
If you've never, spoiler alert, if you've never read A Court of Thorns and Roses, this is a spoiler alert, and we will tell you when you can like skip ahead. But it's the same vibe to me as like when Rhysand is like, no one wants to be with me because they know that our children would be hunted. I was like, baby, there are some men that are worth it. They're worth they're worth the I could possibly only have you for this amount of time, but you are so like amazing that you are worth it.
Yeah.
He's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that your opinion of him is like this, because if we look back a couple of videos and I have you on video,
I've grown.
I just love that you were like, no, I refuse to like him.
What happened? The same thing happened to me with the Scarred book.
Okay, yeah.
I just maybe I'm more like Adeline than I care to admit.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, the way that he did in the beginning is like, I will never live that down.
Yeah.
Like, if I was her, I would bring it up all the time. Like, on an anniversary, I'd be like, you remember when you were a freaking psychopath? when you didn't need to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, and so now we flash to Zade going into the pit of despair.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's going into the Savior's like gentleman's club. And I said, I really feel like something bad is going to happen to him going back into this club. Like, I feel like there's no way that this society doesn't see Mark and the 3 other guys are dead.
The FBI raid that amounted to nothing.
There's no way that they don't put that together and know that it's him, you know?
There's no way.
So I'm like, people don't do fucked up shit stupidly. Either they themselves are really smart and covering it up and being like protecting themselves, or they pay a hell of a lot of money to have people do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know that they are not going into this blind, like they know exactly who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was like, ugh. And then we learn, like, so he's bantering, like chatting with Dan, and Dan says that little girl that got away, like, cost him $90,000.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Okay, I am very like ignorant into the ways that like the skin trade works,
as a normal person is.
Yeah, but I had no idea.
Do you think that that's a realistic? Do you think that the author did research and like
maybe
that price is not just like made up?
Probably.
Wow,
probably.
That's insane.
Because you have to think about like, he like basically bought her, not like I'm just here for one night to like get my dick wet kind of thing. You know, like, like it's not like she was in a brothel, like he bought her. So they have to like factor in like how much money would they have made. Oh. You know? But I had no idea that it was like
thousands
to be $90,000. And for him also to say it like, yeah, that just cost me $90,000.
So cavalier, as if it wasn't like a human life.
I know. Disgusting. That was truly the part where I was like, oh, I need to
take a break from this book.
I need to take, and
this book is like interesting, but it definitely deserves all its trigger warnings.
That blew my mind.
Because the last book that we read that was kind of like a dark like book, it had the trigger warnings, but as we read through the book, we were like, they didn't need the trigger warnings too much.
It was dark light, you know?
It was dark. It was diet dark.
It was diet dark. Yeah, it really was.
It was diet dark.
This
is like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he's like walking down the hallway, like he's like, okay, like it's time for like the initiation, and they're walking down this hallway. It's literally just a hallway full of torture chambers. Like, he hears people being tortured in all of these chambers and is like, I will come back for them. But right now, that's not the mission. You know? I was like, oh. Yeah. Yeah. And then I said, my blood pressure is way too high right now. And then I was like, oh my God, it's all a setup.
It's all a setup. I saw it coming.
And I still was devastated. I didn't want it to be true. I was devastated too. I literally went
with my Kindle. Alex was on my computer, and I literally went, and he was like, what? And I go, it was a setup. And he was just like, turned back around.
He was like, oh, this girl. Oh my God, no. I knew something bad was gonna happen.
And then Jay pops out of nowhere. For a hot second, I thought that Jay was in on it. And then he popped out and he was like, I was trying to get to you, it's a trap.
And there like a bomb goes off.
Yes.
Like we have no idea what happened. We just understand that like they're like going up to the like altar, and there's like a 6 or 7-year-old girl like strapped to the altar. He's got the knife that he's supposed to like kill her with. He decides to off the other dude.
Yeah, because on top of everything, the 2 dudes next to him, like,
they were like
disgusting.
They were like horny.
So he like, it was like,
it was bad.
And so he kills them like, pop, pop. Well, he tells the little girl, like, close your eyes. And then he goes, pop, pop. And like, gets them, and then everybody in the chamber is like, ah, and
Takes off.
They all start like running, but then like the security guards there, like part of them were like his men. So like Michael, who was also at the FBI raid, comes up and hands him a gun, and then he's like pew pewing, and like things are happening, and then all of a sudden, boosh.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, like he's seeing people with no limbs.
Yeah.
Like just like body parts, and like people crawling and having pieces of railing stuck to them.
Yeah.
And then Jay comes in. He's like, it's a trap. And then all of a sudden somebody has a gun on Zade and is like, don't move.
And then Jay, in like the italics, so that he's saying it with a tone, is like, and so it's someone we know.
Yes.
And my gut reaction was like, I swear to God, if it's Dea.
That's exactly what I thought too.
Because I was like, Addie just told her everything. And I was like, I swear to God, if it's Dea, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
I thought, okay. When I tell you that I thought the same thing, and I was like, no. But I thought the same thing, but I was like, ain't no way.
I was like, it can't be.
She's his employee, and she fully believes in stopping human trafficking.
Yes.
So why would she do this?
Exactly.
So ain't no way.
So then you know what the other thing I thought is?
Ruby?
No, I didn't think Ruby. I thought that, you know how Dea and Addie spend so much time together? I said, what if this bitch Max tapped their phones?
I literally wrote, Max?
Yep.
Max? Question mark.
Yep. I said, please don't let it be Dea. And then I was like, maybe it's Max.
If it's Dea, my entire world is shattered, and there's no going back from this.
I know.
Like this, something's like
yeah.
Like something is horribly, horribly wrong. Like there's no way they've been friends since they were kids.
Yeah. There's no way. But it's still, I think it was because I had just been thinking in my head, like, oh my God, like, I don't know that Addie should have told her all this stuff because like it hasn't been a successful mission yet. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that I had already had that thought in my mind, I was like, I swear to God, if it's her, I'm going to be pissed. But then I said, okay, so like, maybe it's Max. I feel like it's supposed to be someone we also as the audience know.
Yeah, I just don't know why Jay would have that reaction to Max.
Because he's like some insolent little like...
So he's like,
he's like a mini crime boss.
This out?
Yeah.
And like, I guess. And then, well, when we go to chapter 42...
Yeah, okay. Well, but first I was thinking like, okay, so maybe one of two things happened that made me say maybe it's Max. Mm-hmm. Is that one, maybe Max was not as small of a crime guy as he was like given credit for, or like thought to be.
Yeah.
Like maybe he was actually involved in some bigger shit and knew that like the Z organization was on the society's tail. Mm. One. Or two is that we had gotten the scene where Zade like threatens him and he took that shit personally.
Oh, for sure.
And was gonna come for him.
And was not gonna back down.
And then he has like, he somehow...
a personal vendetta, has been watching.
I'm like, did he tap Dea's phone? Like, because the Luke guy was like texting Dea.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, maybe somehow he was able to like infiltrate her phone and heard the conversation between Addie and Dea about him being involved in this.
Which is why this stuff is always on a need-to-know basis.
Exactly. And then he got ambushed. So that's my thought, is like, it's got to be someone that we know, and I'm hoping to God it is not Dea, so I'm like, maybe it's Max.
If it's Dea, then the author got a lot of hell of explaining to do. Because I just cannot believe that she purposely does, like, is like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So now we're in 42.
I think it is Max.
Yeah.
I think he took that personally, because when Z went up to threaten him, I thought to myself, he should have just killed him.
Yeah.
I literally was like, ain't no way. You know what it gives? Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Bridgerton, like the Colin and Penelope season, it gives Colin Bridgerton going to, what's this girl's house? The girl that we feel sorry for at the end of everything.
Oh, Cressida Cowper.
It gives Colin going to Cressida Cowper's house to try to mend something so that she stops like blackmailing Penelope and only making it worse.
And she's like, now I actually want more from you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought. Like when he got, tells
Max,
like, don't mess with Addie. I was like, you just made it worse.
Yep. And the fact that he was like a silent thing in the like after that in the book, that it was just like Dea and Addie being like, no, he's left me alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like,
Suspicious.
It's too good to be true.
Suspicious.
Yeah, that man had an ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I was like, I would not at all be surprised if it's Max.
Mm-hmm. He should have just wiped them out.
Yeah, he should have just wiped him out. But you know that he probably partially he didn't because of Addie, about how like disgusted she was that he had killed Archie. I wonder if there's a part of him that was like, I'm gonna just threaten this guy, you know?
I mean, he knew that she would have to accept him.
Okay, maybe not then. Yeah.
Not what's one more body, but he completely eradicated Archie's family.
Yeah, so he totally could have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that came back to bite him in the ass.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
Because
chapter 42,
I thought that it was so crazy that she has like the thought, so like she gets these text messages from Dea and is like, oh shoot, like I fell asleep, sorry, kind of thing. And is like, Dea's not answering her phone. And so she leaves the house to go to Dea's house. And it's after she leaves the house that she has the thought of like, no, that's weird that Dea would text me and then not pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And then this van is like trailing her and hits her multiple times. Yeah, and finally rolls her over into a ditch.
And at this point, I'm like, why does this girl not have a gun?
Yeah.
Like literally, I was like, girl, the way...
Yeah. The way that I was screaming, like, where are the men that were guarding her house? Like, why did they not take off after her too to like protect her?
I think they're just there to watch the house. Because the way
you don't think that they were to intervene if something happened?
Well, think about the fact that Zade is having a huge operation happening right now. So the same men that were probably put to protect Addie were taken off in order for Zade to do this operation.
You don't think his organization is big enough that he had people there too?
I don't think that he wants that many people to know about Adeline.
Fair.
That's what I think.
But you don't think she was still like... I figured there were still people like at the house.
I think that if there were people at the house, it would have been less than what normally there is.
Yeah.
And they might have been taken out.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because I thought to myself, what's the point of getting her out of the house?
Yeah, to get her away from the people that were protecting the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot. This is the chapter that started with like the envelope was from Addie's mom. We find that out in this chapter. And I was like, I did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, I put in all caps, no, she's leaving the house. This is how she gets got. And then in all caps, I was like, it's fucking Max and his cronies.
I know.
That get her. And I was like, I feel like that is the like...
Yeah.
The piece
of
like of Max being like, I have what you want. And then now Zade is like incapacitated too. And it's like, fuck, like which one of them is going to get away to save the other, you know? And obviously it's probably gonna be Zade that gets away, you know, just realistically. But I wrote like, oh, I'm so annoyed that literally neither of them is going to be able to save the other because they both ended up in shit situations at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's how the book ends.
That's how the book ends. When I took...
Like, in all caps. Yeah, I was beyond devastated.
I was like, I knew this was going to happen. I just thought it was going to happen earlier. But I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I totally thought that she was going to get got at the Satan's affair.
Yeah.
Now that we've finished with everything.
Yeah.
Do you think that when they were having their spicy scene in the woods and in the car, that he called off his men? Or did he keep his men there?
That's a good question. Also, I'm going to pause for a second, make sure that it's still recording because it looks like it might have shut off. Oh no. Okay. I think we're still okay.
Okay.
It just put my phone in low power mode, so it like, but it was still recording.
Okay.
Woo. spooky. That would have been devastating.
I know.
No, okay, because this was such a good, like, anyways, so to continue. So do I think that he called off the men? No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I
No.
think the guys were like, yo.
It's like, okay, again, to go back to Bridgerton.
The guys were doing like,
yeah. Again, to go back to Bridgerton, you know, the scene where in Queen Charlotte, when they start like being spicy at the dining room table and all the servants are like, do we leave? And then they finally decide to like leave the dining room. Like,
yeah.
that's the part that I was like, that's kind of what I would think. But I actually didn't really think about that. Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this book was...
That scene was spicy. That was a good spicy scene.
So let's see. Okay, so like first category that I think of is like writing technique.
Okay.
On a scale from like 1 to 5.
Like complexity or like
no, not plot, but like
No, I mean like the writing, like easy to read.
So I would go for like, to me, I would say that this was like 4 out of 5 because there's like a good level of detail that when I'm reading, like when we talk about things, I'm like, oh, we have pretty much the same mental image in our head. So like there's a lot of good description. There's good dialogue.
Good banter.
Yes, good banter. And then there's good like the way things are written, you can unpack it. Like, why was this written the way that it was? It's written with purpose.
Yes, it is written with purpose. I agree.
I feel like the only reason I'm docking a point is because maybe this will change and I will bump it up to a 5 out of 5 after reading the second book. But at least as of right now, I'm like, I feel like some of it, there's holes. You know?
Yeah. Like little holes of, well, why would her Nana cover up the murder? Right, exactly. You know, why would her mom send her the envelope now?
And maybe I should put that under plot instead of the writing. Like maybe I should put that the writing technique is like 5 out of 5, but the plot is maybe like
he's pulling my hair.
Yeah, he was standing on your hair.
He's got good grip. Okay.
Yeah, he was just standing on it. He wasn't pulling. He wasn't like with his teeth pulling. But no, so maybe it needs to be that like the writing is like 5 out of 5, but the plot is maybe like 4 out of 5. Or honestly, I would say 4.5 out of 5. Because everything about Addie and Zade's plot, I'm like, I love it. I was here for it the whole time. Never was I like, oh, this book is dragging on. Like, when are things gonna happen?
Yeah,
like,
I think it was definitely action packed. There was not like a like dull moment.
It was good thriller.
And in the chapters that we were like, it's just because we had already figured it out.
Yes, and I honestly like, I think that I tend to like give authors grace because I really nitpick my books in the fact that I try to figure it out before they like hand it to me.
Yeah, like we're not reading vibes.
Yeah.
We're not reading for vibes, even though we are, but we're also reading to dissect. And what I think it's like, we're the kind of readers that when authors put Easter eggs, like it's for us.
Yes, you know? Exactly. So the second that authors are like, ooh, I'm going to start to put them on this trail, we're like the hound dogs that are like, I'm on it. Yeah. I will figure it out. So I feel like I tend not to knock authors for things if I solve things like before. Sooner, yeah, exactly. So I will say, even though we pretty much had this one solved, like I think there were bits and pieces of it that between the two of us hadn't been talking about it, I don't know if I would have figured out that it was Frank. Or like I don't know that you would have figured out that it was Nana. You know, like we kind of like together we had it pretty well figured out. I feel like the only like 0.5 that I'm taking off for the plot is like I don't fully understand. It's a little bit of a hole of like, why did Nana cover things up? And maybe that's something that will be addressed in the second book. Yeah. So we've got her. I loved the writing style. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was really good for like this was really good for like a entertaining read. Yes. You know? Yes. It was written in such a way that you could make it a light read. Yes. And it was also written in a way that you could be intellectual about it. Yes. You know? So yes, I love that it was reader's choice. Yeah. The plot was great. Spice, 6 out of 5. I was here for all of it.
6 out of 5.
I loved it.
10 out of 5. The spice was insane.
I loved it. I thought it was all great. There was never a time where I was like, okay, there were all of it.
But before you say there was never a time,
There was I was about to say there was never a time where this is like unrealistic, but then I'm like, okay, but like the gun stuff, I was kind of like, okay, maybe that's a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
But more what I was trying to say is like, I could follow like the way that it was written and do just enough of the like, wait, what are they doing right now?
In
like
what position?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still be
True.
like in it, you
True.
know?
Because there are some books where you literally have to like pause and be like, ain't no way.
Yes.
And you have to be like, so she got her leg up here.
Yeah.
And they have a third arm that way. Like, this
Yes.
does not make sense.
Yes.
I think that her stuff makes a lot of sense. It flows really well in like the scene.
Yes.
Especially the car scene. I think the car scene was probably my favorite
I agree.
spice scene.
I agree.
I think that she did a great job with that one because when you really think about it and you're like writing that scene, it's a very like physically dynamic scene. And then to be able to describe it in a way that you actually follow along and you're like, oh, I actually think I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, that is what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's like some books where it's like you'll read a sex scene and then you're like, I don't understand how we got to this position.
Yeah.
And then some books have like errors where it's like, he took off his shirt. And then like 2 pages down, he took off his shirt.
Yes.
And you're like, he was wearing 2 shirts?
Yes.
Okay.
I have seen that before. There's like typos in it or like illogical like sequences, you know? So yeah, I thought the spice was great.
I will
Definitely learned stuff about myself that I didn't know I was into with this book. So, you know.
I will say the Kindle book, going back to like writing, I think the Kindle might have like 1 or 2 errors, but it's nothing major. It's just like the words at the end of a sentence, like the last letter was cut. And I don't know if that was just like a Kindle formatting thing but...
Yeah, because I didn't notice anything like that in the print.
It was probably a Kindle formatting thing.
Yeah, okay.
But I just wanted to mention that in case anybody's like reading it and they're like, why does this "the" not have an "e"?
Oh,
you know, like it's just like a formatting thing.
Yeah. So we talked about writing style. We talked about plot. We talked about spice. I feel like also 5 out of 5 cliffhanger. When I was like, I really want to pick up the next book and like start without recording.
I almost texted you like, so can we like get the next book?
Yeah, exactly. That's why this is the first time.
Do you have the next book?
Oh yeah, I have the next book.
God,
yes,
God.
I have the next one.
Okay.
And I was so tempted to just be like, I want to pick it up. And I was like, no, because what if they like in the first 10, like what if it actually immediately picks up where this one left off and then like we go to talk about this and I'm like, I already know what happens. And so, but I'm very excited to pick up the next book. I think it'll be very good. I'm excited to see how like Addie gets rescued. Also, like, is Dea also kidnapped? Because like, how did they get her phone to be able to text Addie and lure her out of the house?
Her phone, or did they? Like,
or did they actually like take her too?
I feel like it's more realistic for them to have taken her than hacked her.
Yeah, because of all the securities that we know that she puts on her stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree that it's probably more likely that they actually
Which makes sense because like at Satan's Affair, they were gonna get both of them. And I marked them for both.
I was just about to say, I think it makes me wonder, like, Mark never divulges, like, if Dea was also marked. We know he says, like, oh, Addie was already marked even before Zade was, like, in her life. But what if
her at that moment?
You don't think Dea was marked before that either?
We have no confirmation, but I know for a fact in the haunted house scene where Zade is listening in on Mark's conversation, he says, get both of them.
So it might have been in that moment, seeing them together, he was like, take them both. Okay, yeah, we don't know if Dea was before or not. Yeah.
Because if Dea Dea, I feel like wouldn't have gotten hacked, so I think there's strong indication that she also was kidnapped.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because she was supposed to go to a family birthday party.
Yeah, she had some reason that she left the house.
Unless they got her on the way.
They could have.
But that's such a not smart way of kidnapping somebody, because they're supposed to be somewhere at a certain time.
Yeah, so maybe it was like after that or something. Like maybe she got back to her house and they were already like in her house.
Maybe
or
it's
something.
like a computer thing, like you know how MacBook, like you can text from your phone but text from your laptop too.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Dea, it's more likely that she got kidnapped than hacked.
Yeah.
But either way, it'll be interesting to see Dea and Addie together kidnapped and trying to like protect each other. It would also be interesting to see Dea with Zade trying to save Addie.
To rescue her.
Yeah.
Or what if Dea has to rescue them both?
Zade and Addie?
Well, because we know Zade gets got in this like...
I feel like he's going to work his way out of this one.
Yeah, okay, probably. But that would also be epic if it was a Dea like heroism story.
If it is a Dea heroism story, then I think before she finds out that Addie is missing, she needs to say, just so you know, I think I deserve a raise.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would totally be into a plot of like Dea is not kidnapped, but realizes that they take Addie, and then it's like, fuck, where's Z? And then realizes that Z got taken too, and has to get him
to save her.
To save Addie, yeah. That would be a good plot too.
Yeah.
So yeah. I feel like that's about all I have though. I was very excited with this book. I feel like in the early chapters of it, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. Where is this going? Am I going to like it?
I think you definitely have to like, well, number one, I would not suggest this book to anybody below the age of 25.
Okay.
Because you need a fully cooked prefrontal cortex to read this book.
Okay.
Second of all, I would not recommend this book to anybody who's ever experienced anything as horrific as like sexual assault or like trafficking or know someone that like anything that could be like, I would just, or even anybody that's been stalked. Like, you know how like,
because it's going to snap. Yeah, it's going to snap you right back to that.
If you're someone that had a stalker, to read this book, because this is like such a like fantasy. Like it's fake. It's like,
yes.
Like, such like not real, right? Like,
yeah, you have to have the ability of like going into the book clean slate to not take it seriously.
Yeah.
And that was, I think I thoroughly enjoyed the book because I was not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
One bit. You know, I was like, this is a fictional book and like I'm here for it to be a romance, even though the way that we get there is a little rocky. But I fully came into it like open-minded, because honestly fantasy books is how you learn about things that you're into, you know. Like, I am in full support of like people exploring kinks through books safely. I'm a big fan of it.
I definitely did not go into this open-minded.
Yes, facts.
I definitely did not.
I had to like get you to like, I say thaw loose. I don't know if anybody else has ever heard that expression, but like my grandma used to say it all the time when it's like, you're being uptight. Like you need to relax, like enjoy just enjoy it. And like, remember that it is a fictional book. And like, granted, this was like, I also love watching horror movies. So I think
I do not.
I think that is part of it, is that I was here for the thrill.
But I think that that's also why it's good that we have both of us. Because then anybody that watches can be like, oh, I relate to what she's saying. Oh, no, I relate to what she's saying.
This is true.
You know? So I think it's like good that we have like the duality of that, or the dichotomy of that.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true. But I think by the end of it, you were enjoying it.
Because he's not a bad guy.
He's just a little unorthodox.
No, he's just like trastornado. Like she's like he's a little messed up in the head, but he's not evil.
Yeah, he has good intentions. Yeah.
He's not evil.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like
he won me over.
Yeah.
Really, it's all the saving of all the things that, like, all the saving of the girls. Like, yeah, that won me over.
Yeah, exactly. And, oh, really, I was fully won over. Because I would say I was probably, like, even, like, at the beginning of the book, I was, like, 90% of the way on board. Like, just from the get-go. But I think what fully won me over was him rescuing the little girl at the dinner, and him being like, I would be her dad. I would do that. I would take her in. And I was like, oh, he's a little teddy bear. Like
a softie.
Yeah, I feel like that was really when I started to like be on board with it.
I think it's because
Or like I was fully on board with it, not starting to be on
I think
board.
it's because you realize like he's not an evil guy. He's I guess a dude with a kink, but also like could have gone about it a better way.
But he's also very realistic.
Something's wrong with him.
Okay, but also he's very forthright. You know, he's like, look, like I kill people. I enjoy killing bad people.
Yeah.
It gives me satisfaction to know that I rid the face of the earth of this criminal, pedophile, like awful human.
Yeah.
It brings me joy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he never once lies about that.
Yeah.
He also is never like a liar in the sense that he's like, he is very honest with Addie of like
everything.
Yeah. And he never treats her like, oh, you can't handle this. Like, he leaves it up to her to decide what she can and can't handle in the sense of like talking about what he does.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, the scene where he saves that little girl and actually like is like, yeah, I would actually be your dad, is like,
he's a little marshmallow.
Yeah. It's like, it just wins you over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not recommend this book to like anybody that's ever had anything happen that happens here be something realistic that happened in their life.
Yes.
Never.
Yes. And that's where I was going with like I am very lucky to have a clean slate coming into this book and have the ability to say like, it's just a book. Like I can make my jokes about like, you know, whatever about like their spicy scenes,
little dark humor.
Exactly. But if you are not able to come into it with a clean slate, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot. Because even coming into it with a clean slate,
took breaks.
There were times where I was reading it and was like, oof.
There was one after their first like intimate encounter scene, I put the book down. I did not pick it up for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of for me.
But aren't you glad that you finished it?
I mean, I wasn't not going to finish it. I feel like right now, I've never picked up a book that is so bad that I did not finish it.
Yeah, okay. And some people would probably look at my ratings and be like, wow, like you gave this like very high marks. And I would be like, well, yeah, like I'm the type of person that like every movie is my favorite movie. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm very easy to please when it comes to like books, movies, because I feel like I go into things with pretty low expectations. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm like, wow, like this one had really good plot. It had good writing. It had, you know, like it had great spice. Like I'm pleasantly surprised.
This book was definitely better than Diet Dark.
Oh, yes.
Than the other book that we previously read. It's definitely better. Like, we enjoyed that book also. But reading this book kind of puts it into perspective. That book was probably maybe like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, and like it was maybe like half the length of this one. And I think we talked about it for like an hour, the whole book. Yeah. Whereas we have cumulative videos of us talking about this book for what, like
dissecting it for plots
at least 6 hours of footage of us talking about this book. And this is just the first book, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this one definitely would recommend. Like, I thought it was a great book. And I'm very excited to see what book 2 has, like, in store.
HD Carlton, girl.
I would love to be able to sit in on therapy sessions in this girl's brain, because also to come up with, like, some of this stuff, I'm like, oof. Yeah.
I mean, we're here for it, obviously, because we read it. But
girl, let us know if you need help.
Like, blink twice.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Blink twice. No, I saw a picture of the author. Uh-huh. She's beautiful.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. She's probably Addie. I wonder if does she look like Addie, like the way Addie's described?
None of that. Her features are darker. She has like the dark
more
eyes,
brunette,
more like me, but darker eyes.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of like the dark, like hair, almost black hair.
Yeah. Oh, nice, lovely. Oh, yeah. Excellent book. I'm so excited for the next one. Do you have anything else for this one?
That's all, folks.
Okay, good. Well, never stop reading, and we will be back for book 2.
Yes. And take care of yourself. If you did read this book, How to Clean Slate, and, just need time to process and some mental health, take care of yourself.
Yeah. Go read. What was that one that you said? Spell Shop?
Spell Shop. It's the cutest little book. It's...
You need to get paid as often as you promote this
know.
book. You need to,
like... standalone. It's beautiful. I got a signed copy from the author, but, it's a signed copy that was being sold at Barnes & Noble's because the author came in to, sign it, and, the girls working there said that the author was, super awesome. So I'm really happy that I have, a cute little signed copy.
Yeah.
And it's a standalone, and it's a fantasy world, and it's cute. It's if you've ever seen... a Hallmark movie.
You mentioned the Sandra Bullock one.
Practical Magic.
Yeah,
if you've ever seen Practical Magic, it's similar-esque vibe, but a lot lighter.
Okay.
And with a really funny talking plant.
Good. Well, on that note, we will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.